I really like the M1 Mac Mini. You've all seen all of the videos I've made, but today we're going to talk about the three most essential accessories that you can buy to get the most out of that computer, or really any Apple M1 computer. So what are they? Let's find out. I don't have anything to slam. What's up, everyone? I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So these accessories are no kidding. I could not exist. I could not get my work done on a daily basis without these three things. So when I say they're essential, or whatever exciting title I come up with to draw you in, that hopefully drew you in, these, I can't live without these. So throughout the course of the day, there are three things I'm really probably doing with my time if I'm working at my desk and on my computer. I'm either doing my 9-to-5 day job as a product manager for a software development company. I'm either making YouTube videos, so I use my Mac Mini for that, or I'm playing WoW Classic, and I've been using a Windows laptop for that. So that's three computers, and I don't you can see the picture here where I used to have three separate keyboards to make that function. Well, I don't like doing that. I just want one keyboard, one mouse, and one display. So we're going to start with all of the accessories that kind of make that happen. So you've seen my keyboard and mouse before. These are not new. This is the Logitech MX keys and the Logitech MX Master 3. These are not, they are essential because I use the keyboard and mouse every day, but you could do this really with any mouse and keyboard combination. So it's not necessarily the mouse and keyboard that's the important part. It's these other parts. Now we're going to go smallest to biggest, and the smallest one, this. Can you even see this? This is a Logitech Unifying Receiver. Now, I do count this as a separate accessory because if you do buy a Logitech device, like the keyboard or the mouse, sometimes you'll get a receiver, but it's not always the unifying receiver. This little gadget here will take in several different devices. So just because the keyboard and the mouse can pair via Bluetooth separately, and they absolutely can, like you can see here, the MX Master keys can do 1, 2, 3 devices all by itself. The MX Master 3 can do the same thing. However, because of the accessories and the way that, remember, this has to all go into one monitor, we have to use the unifying receiver. Now, check and make sure that if you are going to buy a Logitech device, that the little gizmo you get is the unifying receiver, because I did have to buy this separately, because there are ones that only work for their specific mouse, their specific keyboard. This one, it was like 14 or 15 bucks. It will work with any Logitech device. You just have to go in and download their unifying software, and then you will be able to pair your devices to this thing. It's incredible. This is probably the linchpin of this entire setup. Everybody's going to be like, Gary, look at that. It's just a little thing. It's just a little accessory. You don't even how is that the linchpin? I'm telling you. And I've gotten comments before when we've talked about Logitech devices that all devices come with these. Check first, because they don't all come with the actual unifying receiver. So the next thing, we actually have to plug this into something, right? So I want the keyboard and the mouse. We could set that up that those three connections could be the three separate computers, right? I could set 1, 2, 3. But I don't like doing that through Bluetooth. Sometimes there are some issues with M1 Macs and Bluetooth connection issues. So I don't want to go that way. That's why we're going the wireless way. And to get the three devices into one, I'm using a KVM switcher. This is from a brand called AIMOS. So all I have to do is I plug this into the slot, and now I've got the mouse and keyboard are going into this thing. Now what this does though is it gives you a hardware hub of up to 4 devices. So you can see here on the back, we've got USB and HDMI, and we got 4 different options. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 up here on the front, and the way you switch is you just press the little button here. So normally you would plug in your keyboard and your mouse separately. Maybe you could plug in 2 other USB-A devices. You can turn it on, turn it off here. But then you plug in the HDMI from your computer, and then it goes out to the monitor. You can see right here, output. And it's so great. All you have to do is you're sitting at your desk, you're doing all your work, because I work an awful lot, and now I've got my mouse and my keyboard paired through the receiver. I just hit a button. Okay, now I'm on my other computer. Pop. Now I'm on my other computer. It's so easy, and it has cleaned up my desk an awful lot. That's not a joke. That nightmare picture on Twitter is not a joke. That's actually what my desk used to look like when I was trying to switch between all three kinds of devices. And so I'm telling you, it's a little pricey. I will put the price of what I paid for this up on top, but it's so good. It says here it will support up to 4K 60, so if you have a fast refresh monitor, you might not get the most out of it for this if you are trying to do a lot of gaming. WoW Classic doesn't exactly need to go past 60 hertz for me, so it does all that. It says it's HDMI 2.0 compatible and 18 gigabits HDMI 2.0 KVM 4-in-1 switch. You may not necessarily need to buy the one from AIMOS, but if you're trying to clean up your desk, make yourself a little more productive, and you have multiple computers that need to fit into something, the switch. Okay, so the next accessory, this is essential for me. These ones, you know, that's how we got the 3 computer setup going. The other one, so you've heard me complain an awful lot about the storage options. Generally, when we do accessory videos, I'll be like, here's a little external solid state drive. Here's a little external spinning disk drive. And I'll say, hey, you can use these. They're great. They'll fill up though. You should never just have your data saved in one spot. You should have redundant copies. Well, the way to get redundant copies is to have a RAID enclosure. And so here's the RAID enclosure I've been using. It's kind of heavy. Oh goodness, it is heavy. Or maybe I'm just getting weak. That's what happens when you get older. So this is the OWC Thunderbay Flex 8. Now something I should have pointed out in the beginning of the video is nobody is sponsoring this. I paid for everything that we're going to talk about today. Nobody reached out to me. There is no money. Nobody's sponsoring this video. But this is the Thunderbay Flex 8. And what this is an 8-bay, oh, it's all gross because I actually use it. I've been using it for the last month or so. It's an 8-bay RAID hard drive. Now you can set it up. You can see here, I've got 1 solid state drive in here, and the other 7 are all spinning disk. Oh, it's so dusty. I need to get an air compressor in here. They're all spinning disk hard drives. Now you can get this in a lot of big configurations. You can see I've got 7 by 4 terabytes in here. And what this does is it lets me set up a 24 terabyte RAID. Now one of these drives is pretty much lost in redundancy because what happens is you can lose one drive at any given time. So let's say one of these drives fails on me. I can then go buy another one and put it in here and I will not have lost any data. And that's really great because I want to make sure that I don't lose any data if a drive fails. I've had drives fail in the past and you don't want that like, oh my goodness, all of my data is gone. What am I going to do? Then you're in trouble, right? So this thing, what I really like about it is just how easy it was to set up, how easy it was to build. I just ordered it on the OWC website. It came pre-installed. I did have one show up and there was a problem with one of the drives. I called OWC and their technician helped. We kind of narrowed down what the problem was. They couldn't fix it over the phone, so they sent me another one. And this one has been great. I love it. It's perfect. I'm telling you, if you do a lot of video editing, if you're not normally, no, I would not recommend 24 terabytes to somebody. But if you have a business that involves storing data, whether it be photo, video, anything out there, you owe it to yourself to stop working off of LaCie drives. Look, every YouTuber that's watching this video, I'm talking to you. You may not need to buy something this expensive, but stop only using LaCie drives. But there's another really cool thing about this, and the reason I bought this one specifically, we're always talking about M1 and Thunderbolt, right? Like, M1's great, right? It's got Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt is super versatile. But what's great about this is like a combination Thunderbolt dock and RAID enclosure. So you can see right here, God, it's so dirty. I'm sorry. You can see right here, it's actually got a lot of the stuff that I used to need a specific dock for. It's got USB-A, USB-C, SD, and mini SD. And then on the back, you can see here, it's so heavy. And then on the back here, you can see we've got display port out. We've got the power. We've got a big fan. It keeps the whole thing cool. It's not overly loud, but when you are using an M1 Mac Mini that makes no noise, this is so much louder than the M1 Mac Mini. We've got the 15 watts out and we've got the 85 watts out. Now the 85 watts out is the one that will plug into your computer and then be the data transfer back and forth between them. But I love this thing. This has been so great. I no longer edit off of my SD cards. What I'll do is all of the files from the videos, like the video we're making today, I just dump them into a work file on here, and then I do all of my editing from here. So my M1 Mac Mini is clean. I don't keep any files on it anymore. Everything is in here, and I work off of this, and it's been the best. One of the things that I've been trying to get better and better at is my data organization. There are NAS solutions you could use, like network attached storage, that will let you set up your own basic server. I didn't want that. I just wanted something that I could plug into the Thunderbolt port and it would have all of my stuff on it. And this has been great. It will also come with a piece of software called SoftRAID that will walk you through the setup procedures. Because of the way I ordered mine, it came, everything was already set up, everything was already ready to go. When I did have to, they sent me the new shell though, I had to install everything myself, but it's super easy. Setting up the SoftRAID, I'm not a server admin, I'm not an IT person, I'm a project manager. I basically try to help the team not fail and not get in the engineer's way all the time. So if I can figure this out, you know, somebody else could figure this out too, right? I love it. I highly recommend this if you are in the market for a big storage solution. So these are the 3 essential accessories that I need on a daily basis to get my work done. Again, I have 3 computers. I got to be able to use 1 mouse, 1 keyboard, and 1 display between them. That's why the switcher is amazing. I really like the MX Master keys and the MX Master 3 mouse, and I like having less wires on my desk. So I need that unifying receiver to take the signal from both of those and get it over to my computer, and I have terabytes of video files that I need to store and then be able to edit and process and save for archival purposes when I need them in a future video. And this has been amazing. And sometimes you need a dock when you have a Thunderbolt computer that may not have a lot of I/O built into it. So these are absolutely my 3 essential accessories. But what about you? If you've been working from home, if you're a student, if you're a gamer, what are some essential accessories that you've been looking at over the past few months that have helped you kind of adapt to the new reality that we all seem to exist with, where we all just work from our house basically forever, I guess. And if you like this video and you want to see some more cool accessories for the Mac Mini, the MacBook Air, any of those cool Macs that I very much enjoy, you can find a whole playlist of those by clicking right here. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.